Question that oftentimes comes up based upon some information on our website is what is a reverse interview? And a reverse interview is essentially just what it says. It's an interview that's being done in reverse, where I am a potential employer, but I'm coming to interview you because I want to learn not, about your salary structure and everything. I want to learn, how do I get to where you are? How do I understand to get from the place I am and all my work experience, my educational experience, to get to the position that you're in. And I also want to learn, do I even want to do what you're doing? I mean, those are the two big points. Let's give a case in point. Let's say that I want to become a technology person or a director of a technology company. And I think, based upon my own profile, that that's what I want to do. I've tried to experiment, go through my backgrounds and the things that I'm interested in, and I understand that's what I want to do. So how do I know, if I've never held that position, if I've never worked for that company, if I have never gone to work on a daily environment and experienced what that person is experiencing? The only way to know how to get from where I am now to where they are is to ask them. I mean, if I was going on a journey, I would ask somebody who's been there before. Anytime that we want to go on a trip, we're always asking somebody, well, oh, you've been there. You've been to Disney World, or you've been to Europe, or you've been to these places. Well, we always seek out information from those that have been there and taken the trip before. What did you do? How did you get there? Even the bookstore is lined up with massive number of books on trips and journeys to specific destinations. So we have all this information that we think about and we research, and all this information is available for what to many people is 1 or 2 week trips that we spend a lot of money on. So there's a lot of exchange of cash going this way. But there's a heck of a lot more exchange of cash coming to us in our job and career field. We're going to spend a lot more time on the job than we're going to spend on a vacation. What type of research do we do? Do we go ask those people who are already doing it? That's how you know. That's how you know how to get from where you are now to where you want to be. And that's the spirit of a reverse interview. And the way it would play out in the technology director's position is you just find somebody that's in the company, that's in the position that you want to be in, and you contact them and you ask them, hey, can I come talk to you? Hey, I'm a guy that's an engineering background, and I've been working in this types of company, but I just really want to learn, how do I get from where I am now? I think I want to be where you are. Can I come talk to you for 15, 20 minutes? Don't ask for a job. You don't even care if they have a job to offer. Who cares? You're not looking for a handout. You're not looking for a job. You're not looking for a salary. You're not looking for a pay structure. You're looking for information. That's it. So you go in and you meet this individual. And by the way, people will rarely turn down this opportunity, because what you're asking them to do is not talk about the company and the company structure. What you're asking that individual for is to talk about themselves. How did they get to where they are? That's what's important. People are willing to talk about themselves all day long. So it's non-threatening. If you're asking me for an interview, that's non-threatening to me. You're not asking me for a dollar. You're not asking me for a commitment. You're asking me to talk about how I got here. So I can do that. They'll take you. They'll do this interview with you, and you should go and don't go, and say, well, here's my resume. I mean, that's crazy, because you just lied. If you have your resume with you, even I tell people, don't even take a resume, because you're not there to talk about you. You're there to talk about them. They'll ask you about your experience because they need to know kind of where you are. That's okay. But what you need to ask them is 2 key questions. I mean, there's some other things you're going to ask them, but you need to ask them 2 key questions. The first being, what do you love about your job? What do you love about it? And the second being, what do you hate about this job? Because those questions get beyond the corporate, gobbledygook type of talk that we'll say, well, in our company X, Y, and Z, we have this management structure and we sell these products. When you start asking me that, what do I love and what do I hate, that's a personal question. I have to get personal. I have to answer that question. You're forcing me to talk about myself. Therefore, I like you. I mean, when you get people to talk about themselves, they like you. So that is what you need to know. But it's more important just than have them like you. you now will understand deep, inside their mind and in their heart, how they feel about the company, how they feel about the industry, how they feel about the position. Would they do that again? And the other question you want to ask them is, okay, now that you tell them a little bit about yourself. How did you get from where I am? What do I have to do to get to where you are? That kind of information is invaluable. Let me tell you what you can expect on a reverse interview. You can expect people to invite you to meet other people. And sometimes I go into an interview where you're interviewing and you carried your resume and it's a formal process. You're going to meet an HR director, and you're probably not going to meet anybody else. You're going to get the shake my hand, thank you, see you later. That's probably all you're going to get. On the other hand, in a reverse interview, if you've come and you've expressed interest in the company, so what you're probably going to see and what you're probably going to get then is going to be something more along the lines of, let me introduce you to Joe over here, who's the vice president of this, and Joe will introduce you to this, because you're gathering information and you're talking about what this company is interested in, what these individuals are interested in by the nature of your questions. And you're going to walk out, instead of walking out with nothing, you're going to walk out, probably with a stack of business cards of people that you've met. They know your face. They don't just know you by the sheet of paper of a resume. They know your face. They know who you are. And because you've talked about them and you've gotten them to talk about themselves, they kind of like you. And now it's non-threatening if you contact them. You have all their information here. If you contact them later and say, hey, I loved what I heard about your company. You don't even have to ask for a job then. Let's say you've done this a couple of times and you like that first guy that you talked to, or that first gal you talked to. Then you just contact them back by email or anything. And by the way, don't follow up with a resume. Nobody cares about a resume. You follow up with them and you say, I loved what I heard about your company. I'd really like to explore that further. Do you know of anything available for me to get started? You don't have to ask them for a job because they already like you. They're already interested in you. All you got to do is express that, hey, I loved what I heard. And if they have anything to offer, you're going to hear it. If not, they're also going to be willing to pass that along. Because so many people that walk in the door for an interview, and this is why this works. Most people walk in the door and they want something from you. But if and they want you to give them money, and this is how the company sees it. They want you to give them money. They want you to give them a position. They want to get into a legally binding contract with you. You're not asking for that. You say, just give me information. Just share with me. It's a very non-threatening situation, and it's a very comfortable situation for you to gather a ton of information. Now, I'll tell you, I have never, ever, ever seen this fail to open up job opportunities. That's not why you're in it. You're in it, you do a bunch of you're trying to find a job, obviously, but you're trying to find the right job, not just a job. So you do this a number of times. I recommend doing it as 10 times. If you do this a number of times, you are going to learn so much information. You're going to have so many business cards. You're going to have so many contacts that you didn't have before. And now you can go off into the job search. But guess what? You already know the right people. You don't need to go answeringmonster.com. You already know who to contact. And now your opportunities are right ahead of you.